On a mountain road, a woman struggles with her broken-down car and finds it hard to get a signal when she tries to call for help. Not long after, a truck arrives with a man who wants to help her. But seeing the man's suspicious behavior, she feels scared. Shortly after, a car comes by, so she chooses to get a ride with that car instead. After calming down inside the car, she tries to lean back her seat but accidentally finds the hand of a dead person, which makes her think the driver is a psychopath. The driver realizes she knows his intention, so he suddenly stops the car and hits her repeatedly with a hard object, and finally, she dies. The story shifts to a travel bus where several people are traveling through the same mountain. The driver is Mr. Chien. There's an insurance agent named Marvin, a tunnel engineer named Han Shin, a heavily pregnant woman named Wei Yu who is arguing with her husband, a sexy woman named Sin Yu, and a pair of siblings, the older brother Zhou and a younger sister Xiaoxi. During the trip, they hear news about a long traffic jam caused by an accident on the road they plan to take, so the passengers ask Mr. Chien to take another route. He then leaves the highway and takes a small road, entering a seemingly long tunnel. After a while, Mr. Chien is surprised when a man named Chunjia tries to get on the bus. Han Shin becomes suspicious when he learns Chunjia is a criminal featured in the newspaper, so he prepares a knife he carries just in case. Sometime later, Han Shin asks Mr. Chien if he has ever taken this tunnel before. Mr. Chien says he has never been there and only knows about it. Han Shin asks because he feels they have not come out of the tunnel yet. They have been inside continuously for 20 minutes and no other cars are seen. He suspects they will reach a dead end at the tunnel's end and suggests turning back, which Mr. Chien agrees to. But in the end, they still do not get out of the tunnel even after almost 30 minutes inside. Han Shin asks to stop the bus, and a debate starts between the driver and the passengers. Seeing something interesting, Wei Yu gets out to approach it and finds it is her phone, which somehow lies on the ground. She is surprised because her phone should be near the tunnel entrance after she fought with her husband and threw it out of the bus. Zhou points out another strange fact. At first, he notices the distance between the lights above is 3 meters, but after passing 50 lights, the distance magically becomes 4 meters. This makes the other passengers suspect they have traveled 30 kilometers inside the tunnel, even though the tunnel is only about 3 kilometers long based on the mountain shape. Marvin thinks they are being haunted by ghosts. Han Shin suggests that some people walk back to the tunnel entrance holding one end of a long rope, while Marvin stays near the bus holding the other end, to see if they can find anything. Chunjia and Han Shin go walking, but eventually, the rope cannot be extended any further. At that moment, they find a very long fishing line, which makes them wonder why such an object is in the tunnel. They then combine the fishing line with the rope to continue their journey. After some time, the situation suddenly becomes foggy, making them think something is wrong ahead. Meanwhile, the people near the bus get scared when they see 2 figures in the distance. But it turns out to be Chunjia and Han Shin, proving that this tunnel can make people circle endlessly from the beginning to the beginning again. Chunjia looks at the end of the fishing line near the bus and discovers a severed woman's finger. They suspect a previous accident happened in the tunnel. Chunjia tries pulling the line, and the rope held by Marvin moves, confirming that something strange is going on. Everyone then shares various theories, ranging from an ancient legend trapping people, a drug causing hallucinations, to knowledge about space and time. Since there is no certainty, they decide to calm down and eat snacks they have. However, Mr. Chien gets angry when Marvin asks for some food and drinks, arguing those belong to him. Sometime later, when some people investigate the tunnel further, they notice something has changed on the bus. Snow covers it. Not only that, Mr. Chien tries to start the bus several times, but it won't start. At that moment, everyone feels hungry again after eating snacks, which makes them suspect time inside the tunnel passes faster than outside, that several hours inside equal several days outside. To confirm this, Mr. Chien takes out all the food and drinks, which have all spoiled and rotted, proving that they've been trapped inside this endless tunnel. After a while, the tunnel lights flicker erratically before turning off completely, plunging them into darkness. Han Shin lights a match, but then screams in shock at something. Mr. Chien turns on the bus lights and finds that Han Shin is dead with many bloody traces left, as if dragged by someone. Everyone follows the bloody trail to the last trace, which leads to a wall. Upon examination, they find the wall is not very hard, so Chunjia uses a metal pipe to break it down and discovers a door behind the wall. They enter the room and find a calendar showing Sunday the 15th, newspaper articles about murder cases, and pictures of the tunnel construction plans. Soon, they're shocked by something terrifying: boxes filled with severed hands, reminding them of the missing ring fingers they found earlier. They decide to leave the room, but Chunjia stops them after seeing 6 tunnels in the construction plans. The room must connect to the next tunnel. They search around and find a secret door behind a large calendar, which they go through. They arrive at the next tunnel, where the environment looks different. After a while, they see Mr. Qian's car in the tunnel, but it is surrounded by many barbed wires. Even though there are many foods in fresh condition, so Marvin, who is already hungry, immediately grabs them when Mr. Qian finds them. When Mr. Qian is pushed into a seat, he finds a pistol beside the seat, so he threatens Marvin with it to return the food. But Marvin argues that this bus is not Mr. Qian's, but it belongs to the previous tunnel. Mr. Qian does not care and fires a warning shot in another direction. In the end, Marvin returns the food. Mr. Qian then tells everyone to stay away from him while he stays on the bus for a while. After a moment, Chunjia approaches Mr. Qian to remind him that time in this tunnel passes faster than outside. Therefore, even though he has a lot of food, it will not be enough for him to survive. Chunjia asks him to look for a way out of this strange tunnel together. After Chunjia leaves, Marvin sneaks to take the food again, but he gets caught. Mr. Qian immediately hits Marvin to make him spit out the food he has in his mouth. Feeling very angry, Mr. Qian grabs a big barrel to hit Marvin with it. However, Marvin tells Mr. Qian to look behind because there is someone there. Of course, Mr. Qian does not believe him, and finally, their fate is unknown. However, Marvin survives Mr. Qian's threat and tells the others that Mr. Qian has gone crazy and wants to end his life. So everyone approaches Mr. Qian, but they get shocked by something unexpected. Mr. Qian has been stabbed with a metal pipe that goes all the way through, and finally he dies. As a result, the sexy woman Xin Yu accuses Marvin of doing it, but he denies it. A debate then happens between them. Meanwhile, Marvin suspects that someone else secretly follows them in the tunnel, so he brings everyone back to the bus but finds no one else. The person has disappeared. Marvin then wants to grab all the food, and when one food falls under the bus, he sees something interesting there. It turns out to be a drain cover with stairs. They go down the stairs and find themselves in a room similar to the previous one. But there are some differences, especially the boxes containing fingers this time, except for the last box, which Chunjia suspects hold the psychopath's next female victim, a woman who is married, marked by a wedding ring she wears. They also find a TV showing a woman trapped in a well, and several photos showing a woman's face changing from whole to skull before they continue to the next tunnel. This tunnel's environment is full of pipes. After a while walking, they find another bus, but its condition is again different. Because of hunger, Marvin tries to find food there, but there is no food at all inside. Soon, they find a table with skeletons seated and many insects crawling on the dining table. Even so, Marvin, already starving, forces himself to eat the rotten food, but he cannot stand the disgusting taste and feels sick. Feeling sorry for him crying, the pregnant Wei Yu wants to give him some snacks she has. But after Marvin eats them, he demands more. Chunjia then pushes him, and Marvin pulls out a pistol he took from Mr. Qian and takes all the food they have. After some time, they find a door at the tunnel's end. Feeling happy they finally can get out, they open it, but it leads to a room like before. So they look for differences. This time there is no door behind the big calendar. Inside the boxes are some animals, and the TV again shows a woman being captive. But soon, Marvin shoots the TV and admits he knows why they cannot find an exit. He thinks that when someone dies, it opens a path to the next tunnel, like Han Shen opening the door behind the wall and Mr. Qian opening the drain hole. So one of them must die to continue. Because he likes to argue with Xin Yu, Marvin chooses her to be killed first. Xin Yu begs for mercy and says, I love you, to Marvin, and then goes to dress up in the previous room for him. Marvin sees Zhou as the least useful and tries to shoot him, but Zhou's younger sister Xiaoxi stops him, helped by Chunjia. A fight breaks out until Marvin shoots Chunjia, making him fall. Xiaoxi then hits Marvin with a stick, making Marvin angrier. So he takes Xiaoxi to the previous room, where before killing her, he tortures her first, while Xin Yu seems indifferent. Soon, Zhou comes to stop Marvin, but when he retaliates by torturing Zhou, Xiaoxi again hits Marvin from behind. Without hesitation, Marvin shoots Xiaoxi several times, and finally she dies. At that moment, Xin Yu finishes dressing and approaches Marvin, but suddenly changes her mind, rejecting her own makeup and pushing Sin Yu while choking her. Soon after, a blackout happens. When the lights come back on, Marvin has been stabbed through with a sword while Sin Yu holds him. However, Sin Yu looks shocked, as if she did not do it. Sin Yu uses this chance to help Jojo take revenge with the sword. And finally, Marvin dies while eating his last biscuit. After a while, Sin Yu sees the glass cabinet crack and finds a secret door to the next tunnel. This tunnel's environment looks very different, filled with many mannequin statues scattered everywhere, with all body parts separated. During the journey, Wu Yu's pregnancy pain starts, so Chunjia and Sin Yu go to find the exit while Jojo stays to accompany Wu Yu. Soon, they find another bus. When checking it, Sin Yu sees Marvin outside, whom she thinks is still alive. She goes out, but suddenly shifts to a different dark place. She is shocked to see many Marvin corpses, so she moves away from the pile and finds a table with glass. Soon, while sitting, a hand-holding knife tries to slash her neck, and finally, Sin Yu dies. Meanwhile, Wu Yu's water breaks, signaling she's about to give birth. Because time in the tunnel passes faster, she must deliver quickly. But in the end, the baby dies due to lack of oxygen, and Wu Yu fails to give birth. After Chunjia learns this, he invites his two friends to search for a way out until they arrive at the next tunnel with a very green environment. They see a door to exit this strange tunnel, which makes Chunjia smile. Then, Wu Yu suddenly stabs him with a knife. This shows that everyone Chunjia meets has been abnormal from the start, especially Jojo, who calmly watches Chunjia's suffering. And finally, he dies. But actually, Chunjia is not truly dead yet, because it is revealed that Chunjia has been undergoing an experiment to enter the mind of a comatose man named Zhang Zhou. Zhang Zhou is the psychopath from the beginning of the movie, where he killed a woman named Zhao Xin who asked for help to hitch a ride. However, Zhao Xin is actually still alive and held captive by Zhang Zhou in a well. It also turns out that Chunjia is actually a top physiotherapist asked by the police for help. Coincidentally, Zhao Xin is his wife. So, he is asked to find important information inside Zhang Zhou's mind, the location where Zhang Zhou keeps Zhao Xin captive. That is why Chunjia and the others see Zhao Xin's condition in the well on the TV, with water constantly rising. Because what the TV shows is real, proving that Chunjia has been a spy all this time inside the tunnel. This method is done because Zhang Zhou fell into a coma after a car accident that hit his head. Before that, the police chased him to a mountain near this strange tunnel after he looked suspicious at a police checkpoint. It turns out Zhang Zhou is a fugitive sought by the police because he has killed 5 people, all of whom are married women. His method starts by kidnapping a woman, then holding her captive in a well, gradually torturing her until she dies, especially by cutting her hands and fingers with fishing line. This is because Zhang Zhou loves fishing and uses women's fingers as bait. When Chunjia is in the tunnel area, it is actually just a creation from Zhang Zhou's chaotic mind. But all the clues Chunjia finds relate to information the police already know and discover. One important clue Chunjia finds is a calendar with a picture of a river, suspected to be the area where Zhao Xin is held captive. But because the river is raging due to heavy rain, the police have difficulty searching, which causes the well where Zhao Xin is held to fill continuously with water. While further checking Zhang Zhou's family background, Chunjia learns that both of Zhang Zhou's parents have died after having their own life problems. Zhang Zhou imagines Marvin as his father inside his mind, while Sin Yu represents his mother. Among all the people Chunjia meets, he realizes many personalities are parts of Zhang Zhou. First, Han Xin, a smart tunnel engineer, because Zhang Zhou himself was also a tunnel engineer. After the coma, he starts building an endless tunnel inside his chaotic mind. Second is Mr. Qian, who has a rough personality. Third is the brother and sister pair, Jojo and Xiaoxi, who represent his childhood personality, autistic, weak, and sometimes effeminate. Besides that, Zhang Zhou is good at math and astrophysics because Chunjia once sees proof that Zhang Zhou used to dream of becoming an astronaut. Lastly, Wu Yu represents Zhang Zhou's mother before his life falls apart. According to police stories, Zhang Zhou's father was abusive and often got drunk, making the mother unable to tolerate him. In the end, the mother kills the father before doing something unthinkable to herself. That is why Wu Yu stabs Chunjia in the last tunnel, to show that Zhang Zhou's mother has a dark side of personality. But actually, there is still one personality Chunjia has not discovered yet, believed to be the most violent of all, and suspected to keep hiding. Soon, an officer arrives and informs that heavy rain starts again. So Chenjia immediately goes back into the experiment to enter Zhang Zhou's mind and continue searching for the location of Zhao Xin's captivity. After entering Zhang Zhou's mind again, Chenjia immediately meets Zhang Zhou, who tells about his troubled family life, which is the starting point of his psychopathy. Then, Chenjia meets Zhou Zhou and Xiao Shi, representing Zhang Zhou's childhood sides. Zhou Zhou reasons that after seeing his mother kill his father, he could not accept what she did, and that she even cheated with another man. That is why he targets married women who are bad, punishing them, and does not consider a crime. But Chenjia tries to convince Zhou Zhou not to kill others anymore, and not to be influenced by Xiao Shi, who is his effeminate side, because Xiao Shi is just an illusion. Seeing Zhou Zhou always playing a Rubik's Cube on the trip and never finishing it, Chenjia thinks it is a clue to where Zhao Xin is held captive. So, Chenjia encourages Zhou Zhou to finish it, and finally, the Rubik's Cube completes, revealing coordinates of Zhao Xin's location. But just before Zhou Zhou gives the cube to Chenjia, Xiao Shi pulls it away to keep Zhou Zhou from Chenjia, causing the cube to reset and making Chenjia fail to find the coordinates. Then Chenjia meets Zhou Zhou, who now looks effeminate because of Xiao Shi's influence. Chenjia asks for the coordinates, but Zhou Zhou immediately runs away. After realizing Zhou Zhou escaped, Chenjia suddenly shifts to a theater where his mind merges with Zhang Zhou's mind, and his wife Zhao Xin becomes the show. Soon, a mysterious man appears behind Zhao Xin. It turns out to be evil Chenjia, the dark side version of Chenjia. He is the one who actually killed Han Xin, Mr. Qian, Marvin, Xinyu, and Wei Yu's baby in a previous tunnel world. Evil Chenjia knows that good Chenjia hates Zhao Xin, reminding Chenjia of their big fight before and how it broke his heart. So evil Chenjia orders Zhou Zhou to kill Zhao Xin, but before he can, good Chenjia overcomes his evil mind and transforms Zhao Xin into Zhang Zhou's mother. Zhou Zhou becomes scared, but good Chenjia encourages him to be strong and asks him to tell the police about the coordinates of Zhao Xin's location. Zhou Zhou agrees and leaves the theater, finally willing to move on from his evil personality. Now only evil Chenjia remains as a troublemaker for good Chenjia. After changing the environment into mud-filled surroundings, the good and evil sides of Chenjia begin to fight. In the end, good Chenjia struggles to defeat evil Chenjia, because evil Chenjia believes he is the strongest and most realistic. As a result, Zhang Zhou will not wake up if both Chenjia exist in his mind, and one of the Chenjias must give up. So, good Chenjia plans to sacrifice himself by doing something unexpected, which he actually does, causing Chenjia's consciousness to die, and finally, evil Chenjia dies. Consequently, Zhang Zhou regains consciousness with a good personality and immediately reveals the coordinates of where he keeps Zhao Xin captive. Therefore, the police go there, and finally, Zhao Xin is rescued, but sadly without her husband's presence. Endless Loop movie ends with Chenjia returning to the Endless Tunnel again, and finally, he encounters the bus once more as a sign that he can no longer return to consciousness in the real world. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notification so you don't miss the latest recaps. Thanks for watching and wish you good health.